Pisces. This is a general reading for the sign of Pisces. If you have Pisces anywhere in your birth chart, this message is for you. It is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what is for you and what is not for you. I do believe that readings like this are a beautiful and wonderful way to practice and develop your discernment capabilities. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Pisces. Thank you for your likes, Pisces. They really do help grow the rhythm or grow the channel and help the algorithm. I do appreciate that, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Pisces. Also, Pisces, let's talk about that moon and maybe some of the feelings or some of the effects that the moon may be having on you. The last quarter moon this month moves through the constellation of Cancer. That moon will be shining lights on feelings and things having to do with home life, people, places, and things that have to do with home. You may find yourself wanting to maybe have a barbecue or a little get-together, or you may find yourself wanting to maybe finish up with some fall cleaning or some fall yard chores. But during this time, we also may be having feelings of melancholy. Those feelings of melancholy, in part, are, again, due to the moon phase, but also the days are getting shorter. And as the days get shorter, we do all experience, to some degree, some form of melancholy. And that melancholy, we can use that. That is Spirit guiding us towards learning forgiveness. And so many times that really just comes from, melancholy stems from lack of forgiveness. And not only learning to forgive others, but more importantly, learning to forgive ourselves and accept parts of our shadow selves and accept what is in our nature. And once we begin to let go of those thoughts, those feelings that are no longer serving us, and we step into self-acceptance, that's when we gain a sense of real belonging. And I love that after that statement about really accepting parts of our shadow self, that you have this beautiful Hangman card here. Let's just focus in this camera and make sure that we have a good view of all of those cards for you, Pisces. One moment, please. Perfect. I love that, Pisces. And so again, here we see the Hangman, and we see the Hangman, and the Hangman is really about enlightenment and ways, things, actions that we can do or that we can take to help us along our spiritual path of enlightenment. And again, it does start with looking at our shadow self and practicing self-forgiveness. We really, truly cannot forgive others until we've learned how to forgive ourselves. And many times, self-forgiveness is about perceived flaws or perceived mistakes. And when we do practice full and total forgiveness, we do find that that was part of our journey. That was part of our lesson. Those mistakes, those mishaps, those perceived parts of our shadow self are really what makes us whole and really what makes us complete and brings us to where we need to be in this life on our soul's mission. And let's see how that plays out into the rest of this reading. And we start off with looking towards the future, appreciating what we have grown, being real, being honest, being true to ourselves, and finding balance. And I do believe, Pisces, at this time, work has been very demanding. And it is asking you to pay attention and look at or towards the details. And quite possibly, maybe you're feeling bored, or you're feeling that kind of mundane with the day-to-day. It's almost like the same old, same old. And maybe you're thinking or considering calling in or taking some time off or stepping back or stepping out of this situation. But I would say that this situation is kind of like a soap opera. It's kind of like a soap opera where it is the same old, every day, every day, every day. But if you've ever watched a soap opera, or if you've ever watched a series, many times the day you miss, or the time that you miss, or the time that you decide not to watch, that's the time when everything changes. And then when you get back to watching the next episode, nothing makes sense. It's just not all fitting together. And I think that that is the sense here in this situation. And that this is not the time to step back. This is not the time to take time off, take a day off, take a break. That there's other things that you can do to find or bring balance into this situation. And to a certain extent, it is going to require you to pay attention to the details, regardless of how tedious or how repetitive or how mundane they have come. And I think we have this Two of Pentacles here, because it is about finding that balance in your professional life, finding that balance in your public life, by what you do in your home life, by what you do in your private life. And so quite possibly, if you're thinking that you want to change things up at work, or that things need to change at work, or things need to freshen up at work, you will find balance in that by bringing that into your home life, by bringing that into your private life. And so by switching things up in your home life, switching things up in your private life, that energy, that freshness will overflow into your career, into your professional life. I don't know if that is that your education or what that is, but consider, instead of taking a break to freshen things up in your home life, and by doing that it will overflow into your work life, into your career, into your public life. Here we have that pentacle. Here we have that appreciation. And we see that that has developed. The Hermit card. The Ten of Pentacles. And the Knight of Swords. Someone is coming in with advice, or you're seeking out someone for advice. A talk a true and dear friend is coming in. You will have a talk or a conversation with a true and dear friend that will help you find clarity and peace. You will recognize this person because you know that their intentions are honest towards you. And so trust your inner wisdom, trust your voice. And why I'm saying that, Pisces, is many times especially if there's something that we are questioning or something that we are seeking advice on, or if someone is giving us an advice, many times both sides of the coins will be presented to us. And so many times, especially like when I'm saying a true dear friend is coming in, think of that as coming in as pairs. And so you will get two answers, or two sources of advice. And one of those is what is right for you, and the other is not. Does that make sense? And so, again, when we are receiving clarity or we're receiving advice, especially when we're doing that from or receiving that from an outside source, Spirit will send us two answers or two sources or two situations. And I just think that in this case, you are going to receive two different answers, or two separate people are going to come in to offer you advice. And it is up to you to determine which recommendation or which advice that you are going to take. And you will recognize the help, because it will not only help you find clarity and peace, but you know that it is someone that has honest intentions towards you. And so why I say that is that I do see that you will get some good advice, and good solid advice that will bring you peace and clarity. But there's also someone in your midst, or someone that is around you, or someone that does not have honest intentions towards you. And quite possibly, maybe a dear friend will come in and give you advice about this person that does not have honest intentions about you or towards you. But again, I think the trick of it is identifying who doesn't have honest intentions towards you. And I love that we have the Hangman here. And seek and trust your inner wisdom. Seek and trust your inner knowing. Even if it might not quite make sense, the pieces might not all fit in the physical, trust your intuition. Trust your inner knowing. Trust your inner knowing. And you will be on the right path. Final thoughts, final messages. We have the King and Queen of Swords. Cutting ties, breaking free. I'm surprised we didn't see the Four of Wands here, but cutting ties, making amends, making movements. Finding your own truth, finding your own words. Victory, movement and victory. And there's a few different cards in the tarot that can signify victory, but this is the strongest, or this is the highest level of victory in the tarot. Ten of Pentacles. A gift from the ancestors. A walk in the garden. Cutting ties, breaking free. New beginnings have begun for you, Pisces. And these new beginnings for you are going to require you to embrace and accept, or embracing and accepting the change is what is being required. And adjusting and embracing, again, I think it goes back to that Hangman card. And it's those inner adjustments and inner shifts. And many times, those adjustments, that embracing and that acceptance can be narrowed down to a few basic steps, a few basic adjustments, such as the first thing is letting go of expectations. Many times when we're starting a new mission, or even if we are setting goals and we're manifesting or starting to manifest, many times with the manifestations, one of the first things that people will say or that you learn is to let go of expectations. Letting go of the outcome. And I think maybe in a few of our past readings, I might have brushed up on that a little bit. It's like, just send it out into the universe and let the universe send it back to you. However, it's going to come back to you. And many times when we release or put our expectations down, put our expectations away, the universe will bring us or send us back beyond what we could have even imagined. And acknowledging and accepting whatever will happen will happen. And many times with the Wheel of Fortune, when I say I'll talk about the card of the Wheel of Fortune, I'll say we cannot, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. And that's just the acceptance. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen. And the only thing that we can do, the only thing that we can change, the only thing that we can adjust is how we react to it, or what our thoughts are towards that. And that is part of the acknowledging whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And accept whatever it is that's going to happen is going to happen. And whatever is going to happen, what it means to you. What does it mean to you? And becoming clear on what this situation means to you. And there's no good or bad, it's just what does it mean to you? And what is meant for you? Learn what is meant for you. And so with any situation, with anything that happens to us or around us, to a certain extent, there's a lesson there. There's something there to help you learn. There's something there to help you grow. Even if it's something negative, there's something there to be learned. What is it that you're meant to learn? And when we see what it is that we're meant to learn, we can change, we can adjust that to seeing and recognizing how this is beneficial to us, how this is going to strengthen us, how this is going to guide us along our life's path. And when we are able to do that, that is when we are able to accept and embrace the gift of wisdom that comes from any situation. And so this could be a positive situation, this could be a negative situation, or even it could be even a situation of indifference that you're experiencing at work. But even within that situation, there is a gift. And here we see the gift, and here we see the gift, and here we see the Hermit shining light on that gift. There's gifts in every situation, and part of our mission, part of our soul's journey here in this life is to seek the inner wisdom and use that as a tool to strengthen ourselves along this beautiful, wonderful, crazy path of life that we're experiencing, Pisces. And I love that we end with the Sun card. And if we look closer at this Sun card, we see a person enjoying and embracing their walk in the garden. And that is the message that I have for Pisces. Thank you, Pisces. You have a blessed week. Please do leave in the comment section what it is that you're acknowledging that is happening to you today. Have a blessed week.